Great. So, hello and welcome to Happy Hour, friends, wherever in the world you are joining from. It's lovely to be with you, lovely to sit together. So some of you might know that this week I'm subbing for Gail and for the 7 a.m. And the theme for this week I'm exploring is compassion. A theme that we've explored, of course, a lot in Happy Hour. And I wanted to explore and invite us to practice with very subtle, very gentle, quiet compassion this evening with the breath, just very subtle, very yeah, let it be in the background, in the foreground background in a way, suffusing our breath, suffusing this moment. And we'll have a pretty quiet, that's my intention at least. We'll see what arises. Guided meditation tonight to really settle into the space with silence, with kindness, with warmth, and holding whatever challenges there might be with compassion, with kindness. So that's the plan, and let's practice together. So arriving in this moment in time. In our bodies, and on the cushion or the chair, relaxing, softening the body. And however the body is in this moment, inviting the body to soften, to relax, not pushing away any discomfort, but softening around it, softening into it. And letting the breath be supportive in this softening. And letting awareness connect and greet each breath in the body. The entirety of the in-breath, the entirety of the out-breath can really support us to land, especially if we're feeling restless or distracted. Connecting with the entirety of the breath, not as a should, not as a grim duty, but with care, with kindness towards ourselves. Can we invite kindness to be breathed in with each breath? Breathed in and breathed out. Breathing in kindness, breathing out kindness. Breathing in kindness towards this body. Breathing out kindness, goodwill, friendliness around this body. Not so much as an effortful breathing in, but letting it be breathed. Imagining that the air around you is infused with kindness. So there's no other way. There's no other way than to breathe in goodwill, kindness, friendliness into this heart, into this body, into these lungs, nourishing ourselves with goodwill, letting goodwill find its way to every cell of this body. It's already available. It's no work. It's already here. It's also breathed out. It's so natural. Natural as the breath itself, as breathing itself. Automatic. Maybe you experiment with greeting this kindness that's being breathed in with a smile. Or maybe a smile shows up because it's quite lovely to be breathing in kindness and goodwill into the body and feeling nourished by it. There's a natural gladness that arises. And realizing that the conditions are like this right now. Whatever the conditions are in the body, in your mind, in your heart, that it is like this right now. And if there are any challenges present right now in the physical space or emotional space, letting this kindness that you breathe in, that's being breathed in, the goodwill, the friendliness, meet, meet, really hold great space around whatever challenge there might be. And difficulty is met with kindness, with goodwill. This is compassion. Meeting difficulty, pain, physical pain, emotional challenges, pain, with kindness, with gentleness, goodwill. Is compassion for ourselves. So let kindness be breathed in again, goodwill. Continue to be breathed in. Breathed out. And meeting whatever is necessary in this moment. And don't make breathing in and out kindness into a hyperventilation or too much work. Let it be natural. It's just in the air around you. It's very subtle, very subtle. You're sitting in it. It's infusing your body, your heart. It's kindness, holding whatever might be challenging. Maybe you find that your body feels more relaxed or safer. More at ease. Maybe something releases, some holding releases in the heart or in the body. As you sit in this air imbued with goodwill, kindness, gentleness, as it's breathed in and out naturally. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. It's not a doing, this invitation. Not a doing. It's a non-doing. It's a natural way of being. Let it let it be as natural as the breath happening on its own. This infusion of goodwill, kindness, meeting whatever is arising with metta. And if it's a challenge, it becomes compassion. As we turn to bring this meditation to a close, letting there be kindness, gentle appreciation for having showed up as best as you were able to in this moment. No need for judgment, comparison, and if any arise, let them be held in this air, in this space of kindness. Trusting we're planting seeds of goodness, kindness, to support ourselves, support our loved ones, all beings whose lives we touch directly and indirectly. May all beings everywhere be well, be free, including ourselves. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your practice. Ah. I love this gentle practice. It's like sitting in a warm bath, breathing in the air of kindness. Just the whole body can relax into it. There's not so much doing. And I certainly feel happier and more gentle and also more awake, more alert. So what we did was basically I invited you to work with kindness, not as so much a doing, but as natural as breathing. Breathing, that kindness being breathed in, kindness being breathed out towards the body, towards others, internally, externally, though our focus really was ourselves. And then I asked you if there are any challenges in the body or in the mind. Let this kindness, goodwill meet the difficulty, the pain. And as many of you might already know, when kindness, when metta meets and holds suffering and pain, that is the expression of compassion. Compassion is metta plus suffering, so that it becomes, that gets expressed as karuna, as compassion. So we're playing around with that in this session in a very gentle, non-doing way, just letting it be, letting the body rest in it, letting kindness, goodwill infuse. So we'll wait until everybody is back. Okay, the rooms are closed, everyone is back, and we have some time for questions, reflections, and I'm going to change the chat settings. You can also type your reflections in chat if you like. Malaya, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, I want to say thank you so much. I feel like this meditation really helped me because I've been experiencing some physical health problems lately where I have a lot of discomfort and pain. And then when I was meditating, like I thought of like a flower, and then I was like, oh, I am also a flower. And then I was like, this is strange. I was like, I am also a flower. And then I was like, well, I'm a flower because I have my own beauty and I'm growing because flowers grow and they blossom and they have their own seasons. Because I feel like I've been judging myself, comparing to myself how I was before I started experiencing these health problems. So thank you.
Oh, ooh, wow. Thank you so much, Malaya, for bringing that in. I see the hearts in this in Zoom. Thank you so much for sharing. So beautiful. Oh, thank you for bringing that in and both being witnessed for your own sake and also for everyone's um, supporting everyone with our insights. How beautiful to have this insight. Yes, I'm I'm part of nature, just like a flower. I have my seasons, and there are different seasons, and I continue to grow through this challenge. And yeah, so beautiful. And this sense of kindness and also, oh yes, and what you said, this beauty, acknowledging your own beauty, your own goodness, this flowering. Yay. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. How lovely. Yeah. Claire, please.
I need a little pity because my computer's not working right. But what I really wanted to talk about was the difference between compassion and self-pity, or the relationship, because I've had an extremely difficult life. I really truly have. But I spent a lot of it going into fits of self-pity and not accomplishing very much because I felt so sorry for Claire. Little by slowly, I've been introduced to situations where the people around me had more difficulties by far than I did. I'm not going to tell all their stories. But anyway, I'm now working for an organization that fosters independence for the disabled. And it's a marvelous experience because it's forcing me to stop looking at all my woes and look at the people whose lives are much more difficult than mine. And I am able to feel compassion for them. But this practice tonight was perfect because it's exactly what I want to keep working on. It's really can bring so much joy when you're trying to provide service for people who really need it, and not get wrapped up in self.
Yeah, exactly. It's a way of serving, and also it's us, right? It's not them versus us or their suffering. It's I could be suffering things can shift and change at any moment.
Exactly.
And and we all have our seasons, as Malaya beautifully brought in. We all have our seasons. We all go through challenging periods. None of us every single human being will go through changes, transitions, challenges. So it's really us. So thanks, Claire. Thanks for bringing that sense of service and humility and gladness in. Yeah, thank you. And one question I'll address is one person has asked that in as what how to handle when in small groups people ask questions of one another, especially not following instructions and uh, um, you know how to handle it. So it's perfectly okay to ever so kindly and gently and lovingly remind each other, you know, not in a policing way, but like, oh yeah, we're not supposed to ask each other questions. We're not supposed to give advice to one another. We're not supposed to do that. We're just supposed to share from our own experience. So feel free to take your seat of compassionate awareness and serve the community in this way. Oh yeah, we're not supposed to. That was part of the instructions. It could be in a very gentle or perhaps in a light or even humorous way, but it is okay to do that. It really is okay to do that because we are giving. I am inviting you to create the sense of safety for one another and not ask questions and not give advice, right? So I hope that is helpful to everyone, and especially for the person who asked this question in chat. Serena, am I
Well,
saying?
thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share. I haven't shared for a long while now. So I have a question because, well, what happened in my meditation is I had this overwhelming feeling of joy that that I kind of brought in from where I was earlier. So I hardly kind of was able to kind of tune into your instructions because this overwhelming feeling of joy was like, in my being. So the best I was able to do was to just be with it and be with the thoughts that were associated with it. So I'm just kind of wondering in terms of practice whether that was skillful or not.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that in and asking that. And what I'm hearing is that there was a sense of overwhelming joy, and what you were doing is to be with it, is to be with it, to witness it, to hold it. And I also heard that there maybe a lot of thinking was coming up, if I heard you correctly, to be with the
Yes.
thoughts,
Yes.
not to get and maybe the way to be with it is not to get taken away and go on a journey of thinking and not that, but stay with the joy, but not with the thinking. So what I would suggest is drop the story of the joy and the happiness and this and that, which might be looking forward to something or reminiscing about something. Drop all that and stay with the physicality, the sense of joy in your heart. Like, how does it feel in the body, in the mind? And be kind, kindly, as long as you're being kind to whatever arises during happy hour, during your meditation, you're doing it right. So if joy arises, be with it with kindness. If something painful arises, be with it with kindness. If just a breath arises, be with it with kindness. So that's what I would suggest. That's the way to be with it, Serena. Does that help?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
You are very welcome. Thank you. So thank you all. Thank you for your practice, for your wholeheartedness, for your cultivation. This is such beautiful, beautiful cultivation we're doing together for the sake of ourselves and all beings everywhere. So thank you. Thank you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you have joy. May you have ease. And realize every single one of you, one of us, is a flower. Appreciating what Malaya brought in. Every single one of us is a beautiful flower. And we have our own unique fragrance that we share with the world, we spread in the world, and we also have our seasons. We all have our seasons to appreciate that it's all a season. So be well, take good care. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Thanks, everyone.